welcome back to Tammy Talks About. So I just thought we could quickly talk about that there are some court proceedings that will be going on today. And this is being filmed on Thursday, August the 5th, 2021. So before we get into the video, you know the drill by now. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about. What do you think is going to happen in the hearings today? And of course, as always, feed that pesky algorithm and share this video, as Doug would say. And then also, thank you to helping me reach a 600 subscriber mark. I am at like 605. I'm really amazed. Thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and going on this journey with us. This has been an amazing journey so far, and I have a feeling it's only going to get better. So let's get into this. So let's see, August the 3rd, which would have been the day before yesterday, the real Laura B over on Twitter. And as always, a huge shout out to the real Laura B, amazing person who does so much and spends so much of her own money getting this information to us. Anyway, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard in California, hearing on second, and this is further responses of Eric George is this Thursday, which is today. Here are the questions. So these are from the transcripts of when they originally did the deposition for Eric George, and these are the questions he didn't answer and that they want answered. What conversations, if any, did you have with Ms. Heard prior to the publication of the op-ed? What happened 2 years ago when she became a public figure representing domestic abuse? Question number 2. Well, let me reframe the question. What understanding, if any, do you have with respect to the language? Then, 2 years ago, after I got a temporary restraining order against my then husband, what does that refer to? Question number 3. So what discussions, if any, did you have with Ms. Heard about friends and advisors allegedly telling her that she would never work again as an actress and that she would be blacklisted? Question 4. While you were advising Ms. Heard with respect to the op-ed, what conversations, if any, did you have with her about whether she was abused by Johnny Depp? That's a very important one. Question 5. Ms. Heard writes, I write this as a woman who had to change my phone number weekly because I was getting death threats. Please. Question 6. What conversations, if any, did you have at any point in time with Ms. Heard about this allegation here that she, as a woman who has had to change her phone number weekly because she was getting death threats? Question 8. Did you ever provide Ms. Heard legal advice on Mr. Depp's complaint after it was filed on March the 1st, 2019? And then the proposed modification of question 8. Did you discuss with Ms. Heard advice you had provided regarding the op-ed at any point after the date of its publication? Question 9. Did you tell Ms. Heard in word or substance that Mr. Depp's claim was meritorious? And question 10. So within your scope of engagement prior to the publication of the op-ed, what, if any, investigation did you do as to whether Ms. Heard was physically abused by Mr. Depp? Or did you just take her word for it? It's another important question, which they're all important, but those two really stood out to me. Eric George, general and repeated oppositions condensed. George did not waive any attorney work product protection for which there is an absolute privilege for any information reflecting the attorney's impressions, opinions, and legal research and theories. Question 6 seek privileged communications between Heard and George with no transactional limitation and outside the scope of the limited waiver of the attorney-client privilege. Heard has only waived the privilege with respect to the transaction in which Heard sought George's advice in connection with drafting the op-ed. Heard has not waived the attorney-client privilege with respect to any other conversations, and George has not waived the attorney work product protection. So basically, what they're saying here is that she's waived the attorney-client privilege on the production of the op-ed, but that neither her or Mr. George have waived the attorney-client privilege on anything else. And so they're saying that all of these questions are outside of that, that they don't have to do with the preparation of the op-ed. And so they're trying to get out of it. Well, what this hearing on today is to compel him to answer these questions. They're basically going into court and saying, this is important to the case. This establishes, one, whether she knew before publication if this was going to, that she knew that this was about Johnny, and that once it was publicized, that this Mr. George, outside of just helping her with op-ed, has given her legal advice, and that they actively tried to make sure that this op-ed wasn't something that he could sue them on. So, and I'm sure there's many other things. I know I am nowhere near any kind of a legal expert, and I don't have any kind of, half the time I'm blonde for a reason, let's just put it that way. But I think these are some really important questions. I mean, especially when they ask about the language, like with the temporary restraining order and her then husband. I thought that was really cool. What does this refer to? Well, we know what it refers to, but he's trying to make Eric George answer. In other words, he's trying to say, you knew this was about Johnny. And the one that I thought was most important was where he asked about, did they do any investigation as to whether these claims were true or not, or did they just take her at her word? Because if they didn't investigate in any way, then they just took her at her word and proceeded to try and destroy a man's life, his livelihood. You could do this to anyone, but the thing is, what makes it extra horrible, I guess you could say, in this situation is that Johnny Depp is a public figure, and his reputation makes a big difference. I mean, just look at what's happened to him so far because of just the allegations. He's basically been blacklisted in Hollywood. And we're talking about someone who is one of the highest paid actors in the world. And he commands that not just because all of his movies are blockbusters. A lot of his movies weren't blockbusters. He commands that price because he is that good. And so by them just taking her at her word for it and running with this, they proceeded to publicly try to destroy him. And for what? Oh yeah, that act they wanted to get extended. Yeah, that one with hundreds of millions of dollars in funding. Oh well, hey, why would you do any research when you've got that on the line? So you see why these questions are important, why they need to get the court to make him answer them. And I do hope that he will answer them. I have a feeling he won't. But if they can get some answers to these questions, I think it would be amazing. And I'm sure there's other things that these questions, because, the thing is someone said an attorney never asks a question, one, that he doesn't already know the answer to, and two, these establish things. The answers to these questions establish things that builds this case piece by piece. And, they've got a wealth of evidence already. But you can never have too much evidence, and I think that's what they're going for here. I think that scorched earth policy is kicking in here, that they are going to put everything that they can get into court and get on the record out, because they got screwed in the UK. We all know that was a joke of a case, or a joke of a judgment. We all know that. I imagine if you checked in with old Judge Nickel right about now, he's probably on his yacht, and I don't think he earned that with his judge's salary, which I'm sure he was paid very well. But I'd be willing to bet that a certain Rupert Murdoch has helped him out financially. And either way, he's ruined forever in the world. I mean, anybody that has followed this case and knows what happened, they know what he is. And he has to answer for it. Stuff like it always comes back to bite you in the butt. Look at what has happened to Amber. I mean, for a while, she has been the media darling. They can't get enough of her. But slowly but surely, it's coming apart, piece by piece by piece. And she's went from having a lot of support to very little support. Karma's coming back to get her, to bite her in her nasty ass. But anyway, just thought I would update you, let you know, keep you informed. And if we get any more news today, I will do another video. But as always, you know the drill on this one too. But this one I mean, because I do want you to have a blessed day wherever you are. And I do want you to be blessed wherever you are. So until next time, be blessed.